Um, and let's not forget about Farmer Tans either. Okay, first question, personal connection. What's the first song you remember giving you comfort or strength during a tough time? And we should say in advance, you have the right to pass.
A song that gave me strength during a tough time. Well, just about anything that Billy Joe Shaver writes. In fact, he's so much my go-to that I have a stereo in my bathroom and just a basket of Billy Joe Shaver CDs in it. That's the only music. And I only use that stereo when I'm having bad days. You know, where you wake up and you're just filled with anxiety or whatever, you know. Days where I feel vulnerable from the moment I get out of bed. Those days is when I deploy the Billy Joe Shaver CDs. And his songwriting gives me great comfort and strength to go on, knowing, you know, that he went through so many hardships in his life, and really his most productive period artistically was later in life after all these terrible things had happened to him, and he had lost his mother and his son and his wife, and, you know, really didn't have as many reasons as the rest of us to go on. And not only did he go on, but he wrote his ass off and just wrote some of the best songs I've ever heard in my life.
You know, that documentary about him, it's a difficult watch, but at the same time, it can be inspiring too. I mean, you know, when We comes on, you know, the tears can start tumbling.
Yeah. There's a moment in that documentary where he's just standing in his kitchen. I guess he was taking a drink of water out of a gallon jug, and he's just staring off into space for a minute before he slaps the cap back on the jug. And you know, you just get this idea of how quiet it is for this guy when there's not a film crew there filming him, you know, all that quiet. And I don't know, he wrote his way through his whole life, really, and he wrote his way through the end of it. And
I mean, that's why I think not why, it's one of the reasons why it's so important to us that Billy Joe continued on with every difficulty, either self-employed or by others, you know, and he kept doing it. So it's like, it's kind of like, well, if you have a passion, do it. It doesn't matter if, I mean, I'm guilty of it. It doesn't matter if other people love it to death or if the whole world hears it, you know?
yeah. Yeah. So if I had to pick one song, I'll just pick an obvious one and say that the song that gives me comfort most is Old Chunk of Coal, because it's, you know, this guy saying how he's going to get well. You know, I'm just an old chunk of coal, but I'm going to be a diamond someday. So I'll pick that song as the one, because it does every time it plays for me. It does put a little pep in my step, I think.
Yeah. I think my first one was She's Out of My Life by Michael Jackson. She's out of my life. She's out of my life. Damned if I did. Anyway, I would stand on the picnic table in our backyard and sing that. It didn't make me sad. It was like, oh, there's somebody else out there that's got like some sadness, because apparently he went through recording it a billion times, and every time he cried. You know, Quincy couldn't get him past it, you know. Don't get me wrong, I don't consider it one of his best at all. But then also Whip Appeal by Babyface. The whole Tender Lover album. Oh my God, it got me through some heartbreaks. No, it's high school and grade school. But yeah,